Ladies and gents, if I could please now ask you to take your seats as this evening's event is about to start. Please take your seats as we are about to commence. Thank you.
Ladies and gents, please can I ask you now to take your seats? This evening's event is about to commence. Please, ladies and gents, can I ask you now to take your seats? This evening's event is about to commence. Thank you. Okay, good evening, ladies and gents, and a very warm welcome to you all. Could I please ask you all now to take your seats as we're just about to get started? Now, honestly, it's an absolute pleasure to welcome you all here to OKX's Gala event, a new alternative for Dubai. My name is Chris Lawton, and I will be your host for tonight, and we're thrilled, honestly, to have such a distinguished audience with us. And what better place to gather than here at the Museum of the Future, an iconic venue that truly embodies innovation and forward thinking. Its bold shape and striking facade, illuminated by more than 14,000 meters of Arabic calligraphy, and is described by many as the most beautiful building in the world. The calligraphy that shapes the structure is written in the form of a poem about the future, written by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. Museum of the Future is comprised of three main parts: the Green Hill, the building, and the void. The Green Hill represents the Earth with its roots in place, time, and history. Likewise, the torus-shaped structure symbolizes mankind's ability to innovate and push the limits of modern engineering and construction. The elliptical void, however, is an expression of the unknown that seek to inspire today's creators to face humanity's unwritten future. OKX is very proud to share this ambition for the vision and future. With over 60 million users worldwide, our platform provides safe and secure access to crypto markets, playing a pivotal role in shaping the future of the blockchain economy. As we look ahead, blockchain technology holds the promise of creating a new, decentralized app economy, one where innovators and creators can build a more open and transparent internet. Tonight, we're honored to bring together global leaders, visionary thinkers, and industry pioneers to explore how various sectors will transform in the years ahead thanks to blockchain innovation. Our program this evening includes insightful speeches, panels, and a special business announcement from OKX. You'll hear from key figures at OKX, including founder and CEO Star Zhu, president of OKX, Hong Fang, OKX Ventures partner Jeff Wren, OKX MENA CEO Rifad Mahassane, Chief Legal Officer Mauricio Bugelmans, and Chief Marketing Officer Haider Rafiq. In addition, we are excited to welcome special guests as well. Dr. Marwan Al-Zarouni, CEO of Dubai Blockchain Center, Anthony Scaramucci, founder and managing partner of Skybridge Capital, Sandeep Nelwal, co-founder of Polygon Labs, Munib Ali, co-creator of Stacks and CEO of Trust Machines. Why Dubai? Well, Dubai was chosen as the host city for this prestigious event due to its visionary leadership and commitment to being at the forefront of technological progress, perfectly aligned with its ambitious 2033 vision. So, without further ado, I'd like to pass the stage to OKX MENA CEO, who will kick off the evening with an exciting business announcement from OKX. Thank you, ladies and gents. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the evening, and please join me in welcoming to the stage Rifad Mahassane.
Good evening. Honored guests, partners, friends, and colleagues. Today is a special day, and not just for OKX, but for the entire innovation ecosystem. As the country continues, and the country meaning the UAE, to advance toward realize its inspired visions, whether we the UAE or the D33 vision, the countless technological benefits from these visions are starting to bear fruit. Personally, it was around 2.5 years ago that I started my first interaction with the Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority, VAR. From day one, you can see that it was very clear that it's a question of when, not if, we could see the evolution of the crypto and blockchain sectors and the country's role to lead within that sector. The evolution continues to take place daily. But today, I'm delighted to announce a significant milestone in support of that evolution. OKX launching its UAE exchange for retail and institutional investors in the UAE. What does that mean for our UAE residents or UAE clients? Well, qualified and institutional investors in the UAE can now access hundreds of cryptocurrencies and hundreds of trading pairs. Users can also start accessing local order book that's built on the local currency, the Emirati dirhams. But on top of that, we're adding the ability to deposit and withdraw AED from your own UAE bank into the OKX platform. On top of that, institutional clients and qualified retail clients have the ability to invest in crypto derivatives directly on the platform. What's crucial here is that we're tailoring our product to the UAE market. After months of collecting feedback from users on what matters for them, we come to you today with this product that we're very proud of. As we continue to grow, our goal is to deepen and further our investment and engagement with this local community. I also cannot overstate the significance of the UAE as the market that we've chosen to launch in, where we will continue to invest, hire, grow, and expand in the region. The UAE has become a global hub for virtual assets, in a region that's increasingly recognized for its technological innovation and a strategic location between Europe and Asia. Our launch in the UAE allows us to tap into a diverse and technologically savvy community, eager to engage with the evolving digital asset landscape. It allows us and the rest of the ecosystem to also operate in a secure, forward-thinking, and compliant environment, with VARA helping fostering the climate of responsible innovation and evolution. It is also no coincidence that we are making this announcement in the Museum of the Future. Where better than an architectural marvel that in just short of 2 years has become one of the most iconic buildings in the world, standing as a testament to the UAE's commitment to innovation and growth, while being grounded in appreciation of history and heritage. The UAE has long been a leader in fostering an environment that encourages innovation and technological advancement. This is evident in the country's multiple visions that I've talked about. These initiatives are designed to position the UAE at the forefront of global innovation, particularly in the fields of artificial intelligence, blockchain, and fintech. The granting of this license is not just a business milestone. It's a celebration and recognition of the UAE's unwavering commitment to progress and innovation. It's a commitment on us to also deliver on this slice. So where do we go from here? Our vision is that we, and as the blockchain ecosystem continues to evolve, create a new alternative application economy where builders will create a safer, more secure, and transparent internet. Industry players like us have a role to play in this evolution, as do leading talent clusters like the UAE. It is without question an exhilarating moment in time for OKX and the broader ecosystem. And I look forward to partnering with you to continue driving the UAE's position at the forefront of the technological space. And this is from personal experience. A lot of markets can talk about ecosystems. Here, there is a true and thriving ecosystem. A lot of that ecosystem is in this room today. So we decided we want to celebrate with you, our partners in this ecosystem, and we thank you, and we look forward to working with you in the future to grow our business and our commitment to this country. Thank you very much, and hope you enjoyed the event.
Thank you very much, Rifat. Very exciting times ahead. So what we're going to do now is keep the conference moving. And what I'd like to do now is welcome our next guest. He is the founder and CEO of OKX, and he's here to add to the welcome, but also to set out his manifesto. Ladies and gents, please put your hands together for Star Zhu.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to OKX Dubai launching event. Today it's our pleasure to invite our customers, partners, also regulators to be here. Because our regulator is here, I would like talking about compliance first. Until today, OKX, we have built a robust compliance program, including the regulated and unregulated entity. We use FATF standard as our global compliance baseline, which including customer due diligence, section and PEP screening, customer risk rate, also suspicious activity detection and reporting. Also, when we go to different markets, like Dubai, we 100% implement various requirements. So I think what Dubai regulator give us this virtual asset license is a great trust to the OKX team. We understand that the license is not the marketing opportunity, but a serious responsibility. We don't want to disappoint our customers and regulators. I would take some time to have a quick introduce about OKX. We founded OKX 2012, that is 12 years before. Until today, we have 4,500 employees globally, more than 15 offices. We are licensed in Dubai, in Europe, USA, Japan, Singapore, and a lot of other markets. We have three major business lines. We call it OKX Simple, OKX Exchange, and OKX Web3. I think most of our customers is familiar with OKX Exchange, which is a very powerful trading product. So we offer spot trading, margin trading, futures trading, perps trading, option trading in a single account. But in different markets, we open different features according to the local regulations. OKX Web3 is a gateway to the dApps. Until today, we support 100 different chains. We build the technology infrastructure to real-time monitor the data from different chains, and based on our capability to understand the format of those data. That's why we can build a multi-chain wallet, cross-chain decentralized trading, cross-chain DeFi aggregator, also cross-chain NFT marketplace. So OKX Simple is one of our new business strategies. We offer some basic product like a buy and sell crypto, but we also will launch some innovation features like a Web3 Pay, Web3 Card. I will introduce details later. We have our commitment to Dubai. So first, we establish a regional headquarters in Dubai. We will continue invest in Dubai, grow our talent team in Dubai. We also will continue monitor and test the effectiveness of our compliance program. We also hope we can make a significant contribution to the Dubai crypto community. So today, we launched a very simple product. We will offer buy and sell crypto with the AED order book, USDC stablecoin order book. We also offer derivatives for institutions and qualified investors. In the future, we have a lot of new plans and innovations to institutions and retail customers. So for institutions, we are working with global tier 1 banks and asset management company for a tri-party model. So our institution customer can deposit US dollar to our bank account. And our banking partner can offer a TPOs, APY to the customer. At the same time, we will mirror USDC in the exchange so they can trade in our exchange. As you know, we are one of the first exchange launch proof of reserve for our OKX Global. We are extend the POR to our local level. So in next couple of months, we will launch entity level proof of reserve. For example, our Dubai customer and the regulator can clearly, transparently see how many customer assets in our OKX system and how many assets hosted in OKX custody. We also had some plan for the retails. We are working to launch a self-custody wallet for the retail, but with KYC transaction monitoring, those compliance controls. It will be a multi-sig, 2-of-2 multi-sig wallet. So every customer need to pass our onboarding procedures. Then they can one click to create a wallet. The customer's primary key will build based on passkey. We make the experience very easy to use. So this product we give, it's a name called a smart account. Based on the smart account infrastructure, we will create a lot of decentralized applications like Web3 payment, Web3 card. We also would like to share our KYC, the wallet, to other dApps. So it means with a technology called ZK KYC, it means all of the dApps integrate with our wallet. They can choose what kind of customer they want to service, even what kind of customer they want to exclude. We believe in the future, the wallet level will have a significant in the revolutions. Until today, OKX Web3, MetaMask is a good wallet. But we believe if the crypto finance really want to success, there will be big innovation in the wallet level. I want to use a couple minutes to share our understanding about the industry. So from 2009, Satoshi, by the way, who is Satoshi? Satoshi created the first Bitcoin is almost 15 years ago. I think in the last 15 years, the industry successfully created a crypto asset. So this year, United States Security SEC approved the crypto Bitcoin ETF. It's make Bitcoin become a very successful asset. At the same time, we can see Ethereum technology, including the Layer 1 and the Layer 2 technology, become infrastructure to decentralization application development. We can see some junior stage applications like RV, like a Compound, like a Uniswap, is very success. But people always ask a question, why crypto adoption is developed very slow? Our understanding is, first, in the last 15 years, there's no popular on-chain currency. Second, the wallet experience and the security still has a lot of problems. For example, the current MetaMask or OKX Web3 wallet will require the customer cannot nick your primary key in your whole life. Also, in the on-chain finance infrastructure, there's no compliance infrastructure. If you want to launch some compliance finance application in the blockchain, the financial regulator will ask two basic questions. Who is your customer? And how to monitor and manage the illegal activity on your platform? You may can answer, my customer is OKX Web3 wallet user or MetaMask user, which is not enough. So in the last so many years, we can see these three problems start to be solved. There are a lot of successful stablecoin company, USDT, USDC. In the wallet layer, we can see a couple of industry companies like OKX, Coinbase. We have our solution to build a Web2 experienced self-custody wallet. The customer don't need to consider how to protect their primary keys. Also, the whole industry learning how to build a robust compliance program. I think until today, a lot of crypto company, the compliance standard is already same, even better than in the banking industry. So I think based on this industry development, so in the next couple of years, I would like to call it the crypto finance stage. Because of license, compliance, the industry company can offer smooth fiat on-ramp and off-ramp. There will be a nice Web2 experience, the Web3 wallet. Stablecoin become more and more popular. So the real-world asset tokenization will go to the new stage. We will see millions of the DApp. Every customer, you can use your self-custody wallet, engage with those DApps. So I like the words, not your key, not your money. But it doesn't mean no compliance. Yeah. I think the whole crypto industry will develop based on the financial regulation rules. I would like to use one of my tweets to finish my speech. So in OKX, X means unlimited possibility. So crypto, well, is the world, self-custody is the future. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Star. So our next session now is entitled AI and the Economy. To help us understand a little bit more and unpack more about AI and the economy, please put your hands together and welcome to the stage our next guest. He is the CEO of Dubai Blockchain Center. Ladies and gents, I give you Dr. Marwan Al-Zarouni.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. I know this is a busy week with GITEX coming up and Future Blockchain Summit and a lot of other events all the way from now to end of April, starting in May. This is the busiest time of the year in Dubai, so we appreciate every one of you coming here and joining us. Look at the space we're in. Look at the Museum of the Future. It's a testament to what Dubai can do, and with great vision and leadership, what can be achieved. Us being here on this stage, being here in this museum is an inspiration for all. Dubai started with very humble beginnings, but the leadership here realized is with great thinking and great talent, you can do amazing things. With a great team, you can achieve the unachievable. And set forth initiatives that are not 1 year, 2 year, or 5-year strategies, but 10-year long, with key deliverables in every single aspect of that strategy. One of those very ambitious initiatives is D33, Dubai Economic Agenda 2033. With that, Dubai set the pace that we're going to move at. It also attracted the talent that needs to be here to achieve those goals, and also set forth achievable goals for every government entity that is involved, for every private sector that wants to contribute, and also for every individual that has a dream that would be impossible elsewhere in the world. So my encouragement for you is, first and foremost, come to Dubai. Come visit us. We have GITEX coming up next week. We have Future Blockchain Summit. We have a number of events all the way up to April. You are spoiled for choice when it comes to events, conferences, meetups, dinners, and mix-ups between VCs, family office events. There's a family event actually today and tomorrow as well. There was a Solana event earlier today as well, and it goes on for the whole week of GITEX as well. The developers are here. We have Sandeep backstage, who's going to speak to you later on. Everybody is here, and everybody has the same energy, the energy of Dubai, the energy to build, the energy to have no barriers, the energy to do and achieve their dreams, a dream that was elsewhere impossible. So my call to action to you is, come here, meet the people, realize your dreams, make mistakes. We'll help you along the way. Don't worry about it. We have the leadership that listens. We have the leadership that does action, that put forth the policies, that enables you as a startup, as a founder, as a VC, to thrive and prosper. Not only that, They don't stop where the law stops. They will change the laws. They create new laws and new initiatives. And VARA is a testament to that, and you'll hear from Matthew later on as well, and how made for purpose regulator is doing, and how we can think not through what frameworks we can work within, but what frameworks we can build, and not only support the industry or try to constrain it, but enable it to thrive. Enable it to thrive not only from the UAE, but globally. Thank you.
Again, thank you, Dr. Marwan Al-Zarouni. Okay, we are really firing through, which is great. We've got 2 more sessions before we take a short break. Next up, we have our first fireside chat. So we're just going to get the stage set with a couple of chairs and a table. The fireside chat, innovation in Dubai, the Polygon story. There's no better person to talk about the Polygon story than co-founder of Polygon Labs. This session will also be moderated by Ramia Faraz. She's a senior presenter and producer for Forbes Middle East. She's been living and working as a journalist in Dubai since 2001. So ladies and gents, please put your hands together. From Polygon Labs, Sandeep Nailwal and Ramia Faraj, our moderator.
Hello, everyone. It is great to be at this incredible event at the beautiful Museum of the Future with Sandeep. Sandeep, your story is so unique and so inspiring. From living on the bank of the Yamuna River in Delhi to running a successful digital asset enterprise here in Dubai. Tell us about those early childhood years, if you would.
Yeah, I mean, I come from a very humble background in India. My family is a farmers family, and they also from the state of Himalayas, right? Like where in the mountains. So a lot of people migrate to cities in search of jobs. That's what my grandfather did, and he migrated, and he was actually like a house servant in somebody's place, right, in the city of Mumbai. And then from there, he met my maternal grandfather, and then same thing with my father. He migrated to Delhi for some jobs and all that, and that's where I studied. It was very humble beginnings, but I was good at studies, and India had a good structure for education loans and all that, so I could get education loans after cracking the competitive exams. And then finished my studies, 2015-16 I started.
It's an incredible story, really, and everyone seems to have a unique story about why they're in Dubai. What brought you here initially?
So, crypto is a very global, industry. And, of course, COVID pushed the limits on the remote working, but crypto has always been like remote working because talent is very hard to come by. And we had even now we have team members in 14 countries, and you can imagine coordinating on the time zones from the West Coast in US to Australia, and of course these are team members. Then you have people who are building in Polygon like clients and things like that, right? So the time zone was a very important thing. Second is the travel part, right? So, I moved here during COVID, and at that time, most of the places were horrible for traveling anywhere. And Dubai, even in the COVID times, was fairly open. It was in the green zone for most of the airlines, so you could travel to, any particular location. And obviously then, doing in crypto, one of the biggest, the most important thing is also regulation. Like Dubai is very crypto friendly. I was there back in India, and the regulations there are still evolving, so they were a little bit hard. So regulations is obviously one of the biggest things. And yeah, these are some of the reasons why I moved here.
Now, you are actually considered to be one of the biggest masterminds in Web3. Tell us a little bit about Polygon Labs. How did it come to be? And tell us about your ultimate mission.
Yeah. So our ultimate mission is basically everybody is trying to create these blockchains, and I call the blockchains as like computers, right? So each of them are different kind of computers or servers. And so today you have like Polygon POS, which does a lot of transactions. You have Solana, which does a lot of transactions. You have Aptos, Sui, so many other blockchains are there. But each of them actually, to me, they represent one computer, one ledger, right? Where you can execute some code. And Polygon's mission always has been to build this trustless internet. And that is where we are progressing. We built all of these, like, initially when this, the architecture that we are working on now, it's called AG layer, aggregation layer, where this is one single layer where multiple chains are connected into it. Infinite number of chains can be connected. If you can see, internet is also built somewhere like that, right? Like the internet is not built in like the whole world's compute is living in one single computer, right? Everybody has, like Dubai has its own internet, and companies here will have their own servers. In US, they will have their own, India, everywhere, right? So same thing will happen for blockchains also. In blockchains, what happens is you have one single blockchain, and everybody is building their applications on top of one single blockchain. What happens? One application has a lot of users on one particular day, and it congests the whole network. The gas fees and the cost go up, congestion goes up. Whereas in Web 2, that doesn't happen. Like for example, OKX as an exchange, like if it can handle hundreds of millions of users, right? At any given point in time. Why? Because OKX is own infrastructure. And in Web 3, it's not the case right now. We are in the era of shared blockchains. And now you can see it is already moving. Anybody who's in the crypto industry, they will already know that we are seeing a huge surge of app chains. Yes. So everybody's building these individual app chains. And then what's next is these app chains are interconnected in a way that it still provides you those trustlessness guarantees of crypto, but also provides you this interoperability between applications. The biggest advantage of blockchain is you can go to Aave, like Star was talking about Aave and Compound and Uniswap, right? You can have, if you have USD, you can swap it in one transaction to USD to ETH, and put it on Aave and take a loan there, right? Mm-hmm. So this composability is one of the biggest important factors of blockchain. And then all you need is this interoperability after these app chains. And my thesis is, Polygon's thesis is that once you have this interoperability sorted, then most of the applications will have their own chains, right? They will have, everybody will have their own chains, and they will be closely interconnected the way today internet works. So the mission of Polygon is to build that trustless internet. We are not interested in building individual computers. We are interested in building the internet layer of Web3. That is the AG layer.
Well, you have grown the Polygon protocol into a leading blockchain network and ecosystem that's really home to some of the biggest Web3 projects and global companies. What are some of these projects and companies? This is your opportunity to boast a little bit.
Yeah, so in 2021, when crypto was experiencing its previous cycle, at that time, we all know we have seen Instagram to Starbucks to Reddit doing NFTs and various different kind of things. You had like Web3 projects, Web3, Aave, Compound, all of these projects coming up. And all of them are deployed on, most of these projects use the Polygon infrastructure to build. So today, I think, for example, anybody who's active in crypto, they would know that the most popular app in crypto today is Polymarket, which is a prediction market where the US presidential election is right now. People are betting on whether it's not betting, like trying to predict like whether Trump is going to win or Kamala Harris is going to win, right? And everybody from Elon Musk to prime ministers of the world are tweeting about it, that Polymarket is built on Polygon, right? And similarly, like in terms of the large scale project, is the Reddit, which has around 50 million NFTs, and they are slowly growing the ecosystem. That is also, built fully on Polygon. And then Web3 projects like, Uniswaps and Aaves and everything of the world, they are all deployed on Polygon. And as we grow this new product line, which is the AG layer, we expect many of these app chains connecting into AG layer. Like, OKX's X layer is also built on Polygon technology and connects into the AG layer. And we expect more and more and more such applications connecting into, into this unified layer.
Let's talk a little bit more about Dubai. We know that you appreciate the regulatory environment here. We know that you wanted to go to a place where you could live your life during COVID, and Dubai offered you that opportunity. But in terms of the ecosystem here, what makes it really unique for developers and technology companies, and specifically in crypto?
Yeah, I mean, again, coming back to this, that the regulatory environment, again, plays a very big role, right? Anybody, and the taxation is also very favorable. And you can already see a huge migration of, a lot of people in crypto, especially the big people. They want to come here and set up their bases and all that. And also, the ease of moving into Dubai, like, and all thanks to the Dubai, administration and people like in crypto, like Dr. Marwan, who have helped a lot of crypto people to get this golden visa and all that, right? So in a matter of like, I don't think you can do it anywhere else in the world. In a matter of like 2 weeks, you can get set up with a golden visa. If you are doing anything meaningful in crypto, you can get the golden visa, you can buy a house, buy a car, invite your family, do what you want to do, right? And I think that plays a very important role. Second thing, I also feel that safety here, like crypto, we know that we have seen a lot of these like ranch attacks and all those things, like hacking, like, where people are physically hackled and, people try to snatch their crypto assets from them. It's very easy to steal once you get hold of the person there, right? But Dubai, like the safety also, like I have heard from a lot of people, they appreciate the safety part of it. It's like probably the safest city in the world to live, right? So that also plays a very big role. And then the biggest thing I think for the ecosystem is that you are living in a place, and crypto is a very youngsters industry, right? They want to come to a place where they can, if they wanted to work, they can work, super deeply on things. There are multiple co-working spaces to very nice places to live at not that high cost also. But then if in the evenings and weekends they want to go out and all that, there is a very nice youngsters environment also here. Very cosmopolitan environment. That also is like, there are multiple things. Like I many times call myself Dubai Maxi. Like I can keep going on and on. Like now I live here, and my parents are also, we Indians, love to live in a joint family. So I have a house, I live with my parents, my kid, my wife, everybody will live in the same house. And especially for Indians, it's very good, like, because it's 3 hours away, we are very well set. Food, like I can go all in all, like, if you want me to.
Let's go back to crypto then. But I think that I can echo your sentiments. I've been here since 2001. It's been my home since then, and so many of us feel that the ease of life here is just so attractive. Let's go back to crypto and talk about adoption of innovative and new scalable technologies here and in the broader region. For example, ZK solutions and other related tech.
In terms of, like, you're saying the question is like about the
How do you see the adoption of innovative and new scalable technologies here?
In Dubai? Obviously, like, this is one of the most, like, we are sitting in the, Museum of Future, and new technologies are welcomed here. Like, you can find a lot of places where people will simply, accept, like, I have heard stories about people paying, are properly, like, officially paying in crypto for, payments for multiple things, buying stuff.
Yes.
Properties, yeah. Like, that's why, like, for crypto native people, it's super friendly. You could come to Dubai and, don't even need to have immediately bank setup and all that. Directly buy properties, whatever you want to buy. And then obviously other things also, like, you go, most of the places here you go, they're fairly digitized, right? Yeah, from everything, from restaurant bookings to, your land portal, like literally, like in Dubai, you have everything on your phone, right? From your, Dubai ID in a mobile app, which you can use to log in into other government apps, from a Dubai, let's say the traffic police app to land department app, everything is digitized, right? So obviously that gives you that feeling that, in most of the things, the new technology gets very, very fast adopted here. So this is a very conducive environment. Plus, if you are starting a business, the disposable income also average disposable income in Dubai and UAE is generally higher, right? So you also have those people who have the propensity to, kind of try these new products. So obviously, super friendly for that.
And how do you envision the future of crypto in Dubai and the broader UAE? And what role will Polygon Labs play in that future ecosystem? What will your future products look like?
Yeah, so in next 5 to 10 years, I definitely see, Dubai and multiple UAE departments having their own chains, like trustless chains, which will allow people to have these global payments and all that. I definitely also see multiple AED, the dirham stable coins here. And what I would like to see is the average crypto payments, like on the POS systems, right, point of sales, also growing on this. And other part is like Dubai also is very touristy. Like one thing that I would love to see in Dubai is that a lot of tourists come in Dubai, right? And many times they want to pay for small things. Many times they want to tip, the taxi driver and all that. I'm mind-boggled always that why we don't have a payment app, simple payment app, which can actually people can tip to the people or pay for this thing and all that. And I hope like, some, ecosystem people, maybe people like, OKX and all that, who have a huge distribution, they can solve this simple, payment problems and all that. So that will be really good.
I think you've just come up with a new idea that's potentially scalable. From the foothills of the Himalayas to one of the top people in the crypto sphere, ranked as one of the top 10 most influential people in crypto. Your story is so fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for the kind words. Thank you, everyone. You go from this side?
Let's go this way.
Thank you very much to Sandeep. Again, echo Ramia's thoughts there. What a fantastic story. Thank you to Ramia for moderating that fireside as well. Okay, we're going to continue with the theme of fireside chats. The next subject, and this is the final session before we head for a quick break. The next subject is UAE as the frontier of crypto investment. We have two guests to come and share their thoughts. From OKX, the OKX Ventures partner, Jeff Wren, and our special guest is founder and managing partner of Skybridge Capital. Put your hands together, ladies and gents, for Anthony Scaramucci.
Anthony,
Good to be here with you.
good to be here. Let's just get started right away. Let's speak to today's theme, bringing new alternative to Dubai. What do you think of that when we say bringing new alternative of anything to this great country, great place?
I think if you were, let's say you and I were sitting in a laboratory, we said, okay, we're going to build a great city. What are the characteristics of a great city? It would be infrastructure. It would be a great legal system, an easy, simple to understand legal system. Mm-hmm. And since you and I are in the world of finance and cryptocurrency trading, it would be a regulatory system that was very common sense oriented and apolitical. And then you create this great environment for people to want to come and work, and so that they can come and raise their families, and they can grow their businesses, and they can seek something bigger than themselves. And so when I think of Dubai, I think of this huge, wonderful, aspirational city. This is a city where people can realize their dreams. And so when I think of you guys, and I think of the monumental work that you guys have done, and congratulations to Star and your team, what better place to be than this place where, you've got the world coming here. There's unlimited amount of talent, unlimited pool of talent, easy access to over 80% of the world's population, and great governmental leadership. So to me, it's a perfect environment. And I think that, and listening to these presentations and now being a part of this industry for a couple of years, I think we're still very, very early. And so for me, I'm super excited about all this. But I want to flip it back to you for a second and just, for me, what I'm fascinated by is your growth potential from here. Like, you'll be here, and what will it look like, OKX in 2029?
As a start, our founder just presented, I think we have a very clear strategy moving forward. But Dubai for us is, I agree with you, Anthony, about the legal structure, the framework, the forward-looking, kind of forward-focused kind of approach from Vera and all the stakeholders here, right? And which also bring together all the ecosystem. And Sandeep, our dear friend, brother, just to give a talk around, what he has built a great ecosystem. And there are other, great Web3 projects. For example, Tong, which brings tens of millions of users onto blockchain. I think we're proud to be their partner globally, and also in particular come to this land of promise, land of future, right, in UAE, in Dubai. And I think we're going to be here thanks to the clear legal framework that Vera has put in place, for business, not just the exchange services, but also staking, lending, custody, and the token issuance, so on and so forth. That will be a great infrastructure, legal infrastructure that has laid for us, and we're going to continuously work with the ecosystem partners, the builders, developers alike. Yeah.
So one of the things when I am in the industry and talking about OKX, what consistently comes up about your organization is that you're fully integrated into the relationship. Meaning, if you've got an account, they're doing trading with you, you've hooked into exactly what it is they need, what the services are. If it's a layer 1 technology or a layer 2 like Polygon, you have teams and resources working alongside of those people to help them with their business. Can you talk a little bit about that part of your culture and a little bit about how you guys think about your business relationships, both from the trading relationships up to the principal relationships?
So we pride ourselves for being a blockchain technology company, and we are very much product driven. And if we just reflect on what Star just presented, it's all product focused. And the product is very much blockchain based and blockchain centric. And that's why we support the infrastructure players, layer 1, layer 2s alike. And we talked about Bitcoin at our CoinDesk interview earlier today, and we're the thanks to our wallet features, we're the first wallet product that embraced the Ordinals product developed based on Bitcoin network. And we believe the blockchain fundamentally is a scalability. This is the security and the cost efficiency of that for any projects that we that can function to those features. We would just support them from an ecosystem perspective. Also, we're seen as a centralized business, but we also try to play our role in a very decentralized world. And if you go on our product that we proudly launched today here in Dubai, you realize that we have a great connectivity to all the DeFi protocols, and there is almost a platform for users to come and choose those product and services. And I think that brings, using today's theme, a new alternative to what has been, seen in the industry. And we believe the alternative doesn't necessarily mean this is interfering, and alternative actually represents for future, right? And look at how this city has been built, and people think of Dubai, think of UAE as alternative when it comes to energy, when it comes to finance. But right now, it has already become the hub, the very center of the crypto world in the world. Yeah.
we have a mutual friend in the former governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, and when I talk to him about OKX, he loves your standards and practices and feels that you guys are best of class in so many things related to regulation. So talk a little bit about that part of your culture. You're into this for a decade plus now, and you've gotten a lot of things right when frankly some other players in the industry have gotten things wrong. So tell us a little bit about that.
The whole firm holds the compliance as at the core of our value, right? And we operate, we interact with our users, we interact with regulators, and we embrace regulation. And when we go to any market, we take regulators and users just like the stakeholders of the ecosystem. We're humbled by their vision of developed local markets, protect investors, investor education, so on and so forth. So we see them as all the partners. And when there is, we would present the best-in-class technology or product available, and we work alongside with the regulators, users, investors alike to come up with the best solution possible. And at some time, we're still, the whole industry, as you said, we're still all very early. We are patient, but we're also at the same time, willing to work together and give our best assessment and opinion on things. Yeah.
Is there a super app in your future? Meaning, I'm on my OKX app. It's 3 or 4 years from now. I'm able to buy tokenized shares in Disney or Starbucks. I'm able to buy some real estate that's tokenized. It could be a fractional interest in a building here in Dubai or someplace else in the world. Sure. Will I be sitting here with a OKX super app at some point?
We'll see this as a what market demands, right? What users will want, and what the regulators wanted to see, right? Would regulator want to see this in one app, in 2 apps? Do we want to see this in a very consolidated way, or they want to regulate the same activity, same risk, same regulation? That kind of attitude. We play along, right? And we will, customers, users are what we service, and the regulators are who we are, looking up to. But back to your question on all these tokenized assets, we do think right now, if you take count of all the crypto assets together, call it 2.5 trillion-ish kind of a market cap. But there are so much bigger real-world asset out there. We talk a lot about a stable coin that seems to be low-hanging fruit. But if you think about IP rights, if you think about carbon assets, if you think about other things, we encourage and work with developers and entrepreneurs and try to, we don't necessarily have all the solutions, but we are the partners. We have all these, infrastructure ready to embrace these innovation, and we welcome all more and more real-world assets to come tokenized and become on the crypto and engage the users or community members as part of the Web3 ecosystem.
Star talked about something in his presentation. The U.S. regulators have approved the Bitcoin ETF in January. We saw lots of price movement at the beginning of the year, sort of a consolidation now. What are other catalysts that you think are potentially out there that will be breakthroughs for the marketplace, not just for Bitcoin, but for other coins in the cryptocurrency constellation?
Yeah, today in audience, we have many partners in the, how we call it, TradFi space. And we take everyone as a stakeholder, as a partner. And different people coming to the game are going to change how things play out. From our perspective, we're one of the we are the exchange that has the longest history, and last man standing is still active, still growing. And we learn a lot from the past, but we also have a vision for the future. And for example, using Bitcoin as an example, we always think it's decentralized money system, the story of value, its payment. But since beginning of last year, you see more and more developers or innovations on the top of Bitcoin network. There are layer 2s, there are all nodes, there are all these NFT-like of assets created, and that becomes a network that is open enough for new innovation. That's actually particularly exciting for us as the more of a crypto native or blockchain technology perspective. And we certainly welcome the TradFi, the asset managers to create products around it. Don't forget, Bitcoin mining now is a huge industrial operation, right? You're looking at Bitcoin spot price, but there are all these stocks, all these financial instrument wrapped around this. So you can't possibly move the price as in good old days, 40, 50% a day, right? It's the financial side of it already served to, on one hand, probably stabilize things a little bit, but on the other hand, create new potential for market acceptance. Yeah.
I'm getting up there now. I'm 35 years in the industry, so I'm the definition of TradFi. He's looking at me, and yet I made my first Bitcoin investment in 2020. But there are other people, lots of people here are early adopters, and they're with us. But there's many people on Wall Street and in the world of financial services and institutions that are not with us yet. And so what would be something that you would say to them? We've got about 90 seconds, so give us the elevator pitch to wake somebody up and to pull somebody that's more into traditional finance.
Look at this guy, right?
Yeah.
And 35 years into the industry, and still happily, yeah?
Do that because they think I'm a renegade. I'm not the classic institutional person. Right. Think about the classic institutional person. What would the pitch be?
Like, what's your mandate, right? Are you the investors for the future? And if that's the case, how can you miss that? And if you want to invest in AI, think about how you're going to do, for those three things: algorithm, data, computing power. How you're going to resolve the constraint on these things? Why not consider Web3? Why not consider blockchain as an alternative? And again, bringing new alternative to the world, and you can't possibly miss that.
Are you surprised that it's taken this long, or you think that we're 14 or 15 years into this sort of magnificent revolution? Are you surprised things are not moving more quickly, or you think they're moving on pace? What's your opinion?
If you think this is really a paradigm shift, and we're going to lead into this for the century to come, this is really a very, a drop in the ocean, right? For this short period of time, this is only the beginning, and it is still early. So,
it's interesting because we in 1903 the Wright brothers figured out how to fly. If it was 15 years later, we weren't using aviation to its full commercial potential. People thought that it was a fad, but look at where we are today.
Now we're building to the Mars. Yeah.
Well, great. Thank you very much. It's great to be with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anthony, Jeff, thank you very much. And thank you to all of our speakers and panelists for the first part of the session. What we're going to do now is take a short break. There are drinks and canapes being handed around. We'd like to get started in 15 minutes' time. So if we could have everybody please seated by 1/2 the hour, that would be great. We've got some very special news coming up in the second part of the presentation. Thank you all. We'll see you in 15 minutes.
So you have to sleep bad. You have to doubt many things you have done. But after, day after, you open the curtains and the sun, well, in Manchester I don't know much, but the sun rises. At the end, new chance is coming. I'm Pep Guardiola and this is my fabric. I started to play football because I love it in a little boy in my little town. I never thought I would be a football player. Life came to me. Of course I have doubts. Nobody knows it's going to happen in a football game, for example. But doubts about what I say or something I believe deeply is zero problem. It's a process. You think one idea and after, oh, it doesn't work. Even doing the same the last season when the travel cannot work this season. That's why it's creative, that's why everything is new. But I would say the innovation is more about what do you feel right now, what do you have to say to the players, how you, in the halftime, change something. That is more innovative than to see, okay, I'm going to use this tactic today. But the football players, they are so intuitive, they are so smart. I need to trust them, I have to visualize that they can do it. Also, I need their trust. To trust, they have to visualize, they have to feel it. Every single day we spend 3-4 hours all together. If someone has a problem, we are there, I'm there. So they know it. I need help too. I've been so sad many days and I have people help me. Have fears, have good moments, bad moments, but it's the same. So at the end, what will remain is the time we spend together in Man City. This is my fabric. This is my world.
And welcome to CoinDesk Live. We are coming to you from Dubai, where OKX has just announced that it is the first major global crypto exchange to obtain a license for retail and institutional investors. Joining us now is OKX CMO Haider Rafiq and OKX Middle East General Manager Rifad Mahasne. Welcome to you both.
Thank you. Thank you.
I got to say, congratulations on the launch.
Thank you very much. We're excited about it.
What has the journey been like to get here? Talk to me about the road to getting this license and having this launch here.
It's been a challenging but fruitful journey. I think it's any licensing project in this industry takes time. I think we've done the best we could in the time frame that we have to come up with the right products and the right activities for us. So we're going to the market with a set of products that are unique to the UAE. You've mentioned us being the first. We're the first to go live with an AED banking rails in the UAE. So this is built on feedback from our users. So we're very excited to come out with this product at this time.
Tell me a little bit more about that feedback.
Well, we know users want to have a seamless trading experience, and the last thing you want to add is more friction to a user when they come to your platform. So by having AED banking, we're actually getting users to be able to deposit and withdraw from their UAE bank accounts into the OKX accounts. On top of that, we're providing for the first time in the UAE an AED order book, which means we're providing trading pairs that are based on AED. So it'll be AED USDT, AED ETH, AED BTC, and that also removes another layer of friction for the user. Plus, also makes it cheaper on the fee side because that transaction has no middleman. It's straight from your local currency into cryptocurrency, which is something we worked hard on.
Haider, we're going to get you in the conversation in just a second, but I have one more question for you, Rifad. Talk to me about this market specifically. Why was it so important for OKX to put in the effort, put in the resources, put in the time, and launch here with these products?
It's a very unique market. It is, I think globally it's unique because you've got a really strong retail segment in this market. You've got a strong institutional segment in this market. Dubai, as we know, is a regional financial hub. But you've also now got a thriving ecosystem on the crypto side. So you've got most of these firms that are not just exchanges. So you've got brokers, insurance providers, custodians that are basing operations out of the UAE. And that just provides us with a prime ecosystem for us to thrive as a business. So for us, it was a natural choice as a more or less how much time do we need to do it? And right here, we're right here at the end and we're excited for this launch.
Well, it looks spectacular. I know I already said congratulations, but Haider, Rifad just mentioned the unique market. Talk to me about some of the unique market characteristics here. What kinds of trends and characteristics are we seeing in the Middle East when it comes to crypto adoption?
Well, I think first, this is a huge testament to Rifad and the work he's done. The policymakers in UAE are cautious. They are conservative. They want to make sure that they're welcoming the right type of companies and people into the region. So it's a huge vote of confidence for us as a company that we went through this very long journey and were able to get the validation, get the partners that we needed to finally launch a firm our size in this region. Look, the reality is we have deep global order books, and to be able to come into UAE, in particular Dubai, with AED pairs, this is a really great service that people here have been keen to get. So I think that's one part that I'm particularly really excited about. Now the region is very interesting. Rifat mentioned the different ecosystem players who are here, but remember there's also blockchain networks that are being incubated here. One popular one that we're all familiar with is Polygon, which is based out of here. The founder's here, Sandeep. You're actually going to see him here today. And this, Dubai as a city has been on the forefront of innovation for a while. You remember more than a decade ago, they took the initiative of developing an internet city here, right next to the American University, Dubai. So this is not anything new for them, and I think this is very much part of their character, and it really allows us to come in, innovate with them, and show the world the power of blockchain-based utility.
What is it about Dubai that is attracting the likes of your exchange, but also the OGs in the space, the builders like Sandeep and some of the others who we're going to say? What do you think it is about this region and about the way that they look at the space that's attracting top talent?
Well, I think it's a congregation of people from around the world. When you walk around Dubai on the streets, you'll meet people from all walks of life, from different parts of life. And that's just such a great place for you to test your product with different people coming from different societies and what have you. So can you get a beta user like that anywhere? It's really hard. There's New York City, there's Los Angeles, but Dubai is just really a global center of people, expats coming in here and making it their home. And I think that's great for testing innovation and getting quick feedback from people.
And it seems like the regulator really wants to work with crypto companies, which I'm sure doesn't hurt. Rifat, I know we got to get back to the event, but sure. I want to talk about OKX's growth strategy. We've talked a lot about what's going on here in Dubai, but what are the firm's plans for the rest of the Middle East and Africa?
I think at this short term, we're happy with where we are in the UAE. We're happy with the product that we're just gone to market with. I think once we get that right, the growth that we're going to see in the UAE is our first step. We keep looking at other markets. If there's the right ecosystem, the right set of regulations, it's a never no. It's not a no from us. But I think at this stage, for the short term, we're happy where we are.
Talk to me a little bit about, and I ask this because we spend so much of our time really reporting on North America, but there's so much happening outside of North America. Talk to me about, I guess, the difference in operating a crypto firm when you look at the Middle East and you think about maybe some of the other jurisdictions who have, in the last few years, not been as friendly towards crypto firms.
Well, I'll comment on my area of expertise, which is here. Here, you're pretty much spoiled for choice when it comes to, there's 3 different regulators in this market, right? That is a market that wants to regulate this industry, wants to welcome firms into it. And we couldn't be happier with our choice of investing in this market. It's natural for other firms to do the same, given this environment. And we see that on a daily basis. Within 1 square kilometer of our offices, there are 30, 40 firms in the same ecosystem right now. And it will continue to grow as we go on.
Okay, and Haider, I know we're talking to you a few more times today on this set. You're also speaking on the stage. You were the person who put this event on. What's the one thing you were looking forward to tonight?
Well, look, I think we have some really special guests. You're going to hear from people who are building in this ecosystem, entrepreneurs, developers, what have you. And then we have some surprise guests. So I really think it's going to be a great show. I'm excited for people to experience it, and I hope people enjoy this great venue. I think it's a special venue.
Thank you, Haider. Thank you, Rifat. And I know we're going to see you both later on.
Thank you very much.
That was OKX CMO Haider Rafiq and OKX Middle East General Manager Rifat Mahasne. Hello and welcome to this special edition of Markets Daily. We are coming to you from Dubai, where OKX has announced that it is now available to retail and institutional investors in the United Arab Emirates. Now, UAE residents can trade more than 280 cryptocurrencies and 480 trading pairs on the exchange. We have a very special show today. We'd like to welcome our first two guests, Skybridge Capital founder and managing partner, Anthony Scaramucci, and OKX Ventures partner, Jeff Wren. Hello.
Good to be here. How are you, Jen?
I am doing fantastic. Jeff, how are you doing? Yeah, so OKX has this big launch. We are sitting here in Dubai. I guess my first question for you both, I'll start with you, Anthony, is why is this market so unique? Why are we here and having these conversations today?
Well, I mean, the standard things are, this is a fount of innovation. You can get anywhere, you can get to 80% of the population of the world inside of 6 hours on a plane. They have done an amazing job of building infrastructure and regulatory infrastructure that's very depolitical or apolitical. And so it's made this a, over the next 15 years, this will be one of the big crypto centers, big financial centers. Anybody in crypto will eventually have an office here, is my prediction. And so congratulations to your team for putting this together and making this announcement.
Jeff, I want you to jam a little bit on what Anthony is saying there. Talk to me about the role that the Middle East is playing in shaping the future of crypto markets.
Sure, absolutely. So UAE has a huge market potential. As of September, the year-to-year growth in UAE alone is over 40% for the crypto market, while the average for the MENA market is probably slightly over 10%. And as Anthony said, the regulator here is the most forward-focused regulator that we've encountered. They laid a very clear regulatory framework for the stakeholders here, not just the exchange service providers, but also custodians, staking, lending, and for the Web3 and the metaverse alike. So this is the clarity, the transparency, the stability that it provides for the whole industry, I think sets the stage for folks from all over the world.
Anthony, what's driving this? Is this being driven by government? Is this being driven by demand from institutional and retail investors? Is it being driven by capital that's coming into the region? What do you think is the driving factor?
I mean, everything that you just said is components of it. But I think the missing element, sort of the X factor, is this government. And so when you're looking around the world and you're saying, okay, I want to dot plot my business and where do I need to be and who's going to help me grow, who's going to be there with a great environment for my workforce, who's going to be there in a place where I can recruit easily super talented engineers and super talented people to help me grow my business. This is that destination. My first time here in the UAE was about 20 years ago. And I looked outside from my hotel this morning. I landed, come to talk to you, took a quick shower, and I looked outside. I was looking at the skyscrapers and looking at the landscape, and I was thinking, my God, what they've done in 20 years is nothing short of a miracle, and it's going to be exponentially larger in the next 20 years. So just think about it from a business perspective. I need talent. I need great energy. I need a great location with really smart governmental officials to help me grow my business. This is the destination in the world now for all of that, and that's why OKX is here.
Jeff, I mentioned this is a special episode of Markets Daily. On Markets Daily, we talk all about investments. We try and give our audience a little bit of alpha into what's going on in the space. Tell me a little bit about your investment thesis. What kind of projects are you looking at? What's standing out to you as we head to the end of the year?
Sure, we're a corporate venture, so we help formulate and execute, what OKX as a firm really focus on. So what we're focusing on? So we, as the exchange, we focus on providing the best liquidity, best execution, and user experience for our users. but we also invest tremendous resources into the Web3 space, most notably self-custodial wallets, which probably is the best in class, nowadays people can have access to. Within the wallet, we encourage users to do swap, bridge, and different discoveries and different activities, and to become a really native on-chain users. So as the investment arm, we help basically push this efforts forward. We also captures the new kind of waves around. For example, right now, the UAE government central bank just announced the new stablecoin regime, and in conjunction with that, there's a lot of initiatives around real-world assets. So these really are the areas that we start to invest more resources and attention and focus on to build together with our excellent product team and marketing team.
Anthony, what's your investment thesis? I know you've worked with and collaborated with some startups from the region. Maybe if we focus our attention back to the region, any interesting projects you're seeing?
Well, we do our conference here every year. Well, we started that in 2019. I think we did it at Emirates Palace, and then we did it at El Saadiyat Island. It was done here in Dubai once. And so there's a lot of different smaller projects. There's a few small exchanges that we're investors in. But, for me, I'm gratified to be here to be part of this OKX launch because, they are probably the second largest exchange in the world, and they're an incredibly well-managed organization. Think about what we've all gone through in this industry and think about how they emerged out of that stronger, deeper bench, a lot more market share. So for me, I want to be a part of their growth here in the industry. And so I'm most excited about that. But yes, we have some small token deals. We own some tokens in the video gaming space. I own Avalanche. I own Polkadot and a few other layer 1 protocols. But my big investments are really in Bitcoin and Solana.
If you had to pick one of the smaller tokens that you just mentioned that you were watching, that you are maybe bullish on heading into 2025, I know you probably can't say, but I gotta ask.
I will say, and probably get me in some level of trouble, but good
like
trouble is fun, right? Yeah, when she interviews, she always gets me in trouble, by the way. So why ruin my track record for you and me, right? But listen, I can't call it a small token because it's actually pretty well market capitalized. But I think Avalanche, what they're doing in the world of tokenization, I think that you're going to see in the next 3 to 5 years, Solana and Avalanche are going to be two of the big tokenizing mechanisms for real world assets. And so I own a small thing called Parcel, P-A-R-C-L, which gives you the opportunity to buy and sell. It's almost like an index where you can buy and sell in a liquid sort of way real estate markets around the world. And so you can literally trade the Dubai market or the Abu Dhabi market or the New York or Miami market through their tokenized exchange. And it's a Solana-based token. It sits on top of Solana.
Jeff, I don't know if I'm going to get you in trouble, but Anthony gave me a few tokens that he's watching. I don't know if you're able to tell us, if not tokens, ecosystems, or specific projects that our audience might want to look into because you think is exciting for some reason.
Pressure's on, Jeff.
No, I just want to extract from what Anthony just said. I think we love the projects that actually solve the real life issues. For the assets class like real estate or even REITs, right? There are some smaller cap REITs, and for the illiquid asset that hard to be digitalized, and how we can tokenize those assets and increase the interoperability and liquidity around that. I think those are the ones that we like. And also for those asset class that are huge, that can potentially increase the entire size of the crypto asset, which is only 2.5 trillion at the moment. If we see any asset class that can be tokenized and increase that crypto asset, we love it. That comes down to carbon, that comes down to IP rights, comes down to all these oil, energy related products. Imagine that we can trade different positions in the financial instrument and tokenize those positions, and start trade on a decentralized or lower the cost and most cost efficient way and a scalable way. I think those are the ones that we want to focus on and promote. And we are the marketplace. We do exchange. We also do help different DeFi projects, all these projects that Anthony mentioned, to bring on our platforms, and so that users can have a direct access to get those tokens to serve the utility purposes, and at the same time, enjoy the risk reward in the most transparent and effective way.
I think I saw that you recently said Bitcoin could hit an all-time high very soon.
Well, I'm a big believer in studying the halving cycle of Bitcoin. Some people call it the power cycle. Other people say it's stock to flow. But if you really look at Bitcoin over the 15 years since its origination, you usually get a 4x after a halving. Now, you also get about 150, 170 days of sideways activity after a halving. Some of that has to do with the economics around mining. Some of that has to do with just the notion that less supply is in the marketplace and people are making a decision to sell into that market because they need to make money for themselves, particularly on the mining side. So that's abating now. And you typically see a tightening in the cycle. And I predict that that's happening. There's a lot of positive things happening at the same time. I don't know if you saw the BlackRock piece that came out. Those guys, we're very close to those guys. We were the first money into the BlackRock Trust. My partner, Brett Messing, put $10 million into that, Skybridge money to help it get started. And they are a selling mechanism. I just want you to imagine thousands of people next year telling institutions, large and small, retail investors, that they need to have some asset allocation, into Bitcoin. And so I'm very bullish about the upcoming cycle.
Now,
and you got the rate cuts too. I forgot the rate cuts, but that's another big part of it.
Yeah, I think two rate cuts before the end of the year.
Well, I think so. And
well, we have two meetings.
I was hit hard and criticized at the beginning of the year when the inflation data didn't look right. I said there'd be at least 3 rate cuts this year, and it looks like there will be at least 3 rate cuts. And by the way, I'm in the camp that you'll probably see 75 basis points of rate cuts.
Being a challenger. And we're going to have some thoughts from Haider in just a moment, and then he's going to invite a special guest up onto the stage. Ladies and gents, as I say, Be a Challenger is our next segment. So I'd like you to please put your hands together and welcome up onto the stage. He's the CMO for OKX and the visionary of tonight's event. Give him a warm welcome, ladies and gents, Haider Rafiq.
Evening. I am honored to be introducing the next part of today's program, which is centered around blockchain innovation and growth. In this section, you will hear from some phenomenal leaders innovating in our ecosystem. But before going into that, I'd like to present a quick summary of our transformative journey the last 3 years at OKX. You see, the last 3 years have really tested our industry. The sector has been questioned, criticized, it's seen adversity and failures. Yet, during this volatility, we found a way to keep our heads down and focus on innovating and always doing the right thing. 3 years ago, we were a crypto exchange processing billions in trading volume. Today, we are a super app. We're a super app with a centralized and a decentralized exchange, a Web3 wallet, a wallet that has creator tools and marketplace, powered with a developer ecosystem and a venture arm. Our Web3 wallet has quickly grown to take the ranks of top wallets and Web3 ecosystems globally. And today, we are trusted by more than 60 million people and hundreds of large institutions seeking to access crypto markets on a reliable platform. And reliable, I think, is who we are. And that's not all. We are also the primary partner of McLaren Formula One team. I'm particularly proud of that. We are the official sleeve partner of Man City football team, also very proud of that, and the presenting partner of Tribeca Film Festival. These three partners combined have helped us demonstrate to you and the people around the world, billions of people, our character. And on that note, I will now introduce a friend of ours, a true legend who will join the stage with me today, a legend who really deserves a standing ovation, I think, for his accomplishments. So please join me and welcome Pep Guardiola. Good to see you again. It's been a while.
2 years?
2 years? I
2
think
years.
we did this in Abu Dhabi last.
Always is in Abu Dhabi, on Dubai, Dubai on Abu Dhabi.
It's true.
It's true.
How do you feel?
Good. Thank you for coming. A pleasure to be here in this beautiful place. I've never been before, so magnificent. Hopefully I can see the museum afterwards.
I hope so too. We'll make it happen.
Good.
So, this is a place of innovation. It's a representation, a celebration of innovation. So I want to start with my first question of our discussion, which is, you're known for being an innovator in football. You've really transformed Man City and the way they've performed on the field. I want to know a little bit about your journey, and please share with all of us what it's been like, the incredible journey you've had, and did you see this coming when you initially joined as a coach?
Well, wake up in the morning, go to the training center, work, and in the afternoon go home and sleep. So mainly is that. My journey is, we love what we do, and I would say Manchester is not as much, the weather is not much nicer than here. So the best solution is work, and after, always I thought is start to run, to work, and see what happens. There is nothing written from, the beforehand, and see what happens.
So one of the big things you have to do in your job is to inspire and to motivate the players. Give us a little bit about how you do that. What are the tricks that you've learned over the years? And is there a success playbook, or do you sort of, run with it depending on the day? I'd love to learn more.
But there is two questions of that. First, if they don't like what they do, it's impossible. First, they love to be football players. That is a good point. And the second one is you have to believe deeply in your bones what you are doing. You can transmit to them. It's impossible to convince someone if you don't believe the message of the way you're going to play, or they're going to face that team, or whatever happened in the group, to the benefit for the team, for the organization. It's impossible. And after that is body language, passion, but it's the same. If you like what you do, the rest come from itself.
What are the problems you have typically when you have a player, that player is extremely talented, but is sort of in a rut? How do you as a coach reignite that energy that the player once had when they joined the club?
But I think you have to analyze a little bit what is the reason why maybe it's not involved much, or maybe it's a little bit down, because the football player is a human being, and human being have problems, personal issues, or maybe there are moments that the lack of confidence or problem for any reason, they start to read it, to know it, and to deal it. But always I understood that before the football player, there are a person, and you have to deal with that. And like any organization, so we are persons, and we have our problems. It's just to find the tricky to convince them to come with us.
Well, look, the performance by the club the last few years has just been incredible. I think we find ourselves in a very fortunate position. We joined you guys in 2022, and then you guys just started killing it.
Stay with us, please.
Was it everything to do with us?
Absolutely. That's why we are here. I would say a part of that. So this is, you know, our job is a football, is passion, but it's a business, and be a partners. The partners are part of that. That is, of course, we will not be here. You know, you will not be like to be with us, and our CEOs and our chairman will not like to be with you. If it's many years we are here, it's because we are, you know, we are fine being together.
That logo does look nice on the shirt.
Yeah, live. You have to put it here next time.
I know, the training kit. I missed the training kit. Can we get the training kit back? So, in the early days, you were the challenger aiming to get on the top. Do you see yourself as a challenger? Can you talk to us about the first day at the club? Did you think this is what was going to happen?
Absolutely not. I never spent, I will be 9 years in Manchester. I have signed 3 years together. I never thought we'll be there. But I never thought for 1 second what is going to happen. Even right now, what we won 4 premiers in a row, I'm thinking what is going to happen. Absolutely. I don't waste my energy on my thoughts about that. It's just, okay, next Wednesday I will arrive to a training session after international break. Okay, how many players we have? What is the situation? What's the problem? And day by day. In football, I think in a big organization, there are not a book like you say, okay, chapters that you have to do. When I arrived, I said, I don't know the Premier League. Okay, start to run. I didn't know the players. Now I know them. I didn't know the way the referees conduct the games, the fans and everything. Just move on. Move forward, one step, you know, in front of the other. And sometimes for your knowledge, take a decision. Sometimes for your guts, and move forward. Not much complicated than that.
Oftentimes, it's not about the end state. It's about the journey. Because you keep thinking, you know, when I get this or when I achieve that, I'm going to be the happiest person ever. And then you get there, and you're sitting and you say, now what?
That is what about, I had that feeling many times.
Do you miss the journey?
No, I love the journey, but I never think I will be happy if I win the title. I will be happy I not win it. Otherwise, 10 months will be so boring. So it's just one game at a time. Try to do your best, and always in the defeats there are opportunities to okay, we're going to use that to ignite something for our team to do it. Because when you arrive, you have to deal with the team in one way, and after 9 years, it's a different way. So 60% of the players, we spend 11 months, 5, 6, 7 hours every day together. So we know each other deeply. So
I remember
that's why
being at the dinner with you at the Premier League, after the Premier League win, and it just felt like you were just kind of happy that it was done.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, the first, when you arrived, the people just landed, oh, you have to win the Champions League, you have to win the World Cup, you have to win everything. I said, please, take your time. But of course, the Premier is the fact, okay, it's done. We did it. But after I have a chairman, after 5 minutes, I say, well done, guy, on to next. What's
Let's do
next?
it again.
We did it after 4 Premier Leagues in the celebration on the pitch. Khaldoon came to me and said, okay, go to the 5th. Okay, give me a break, please. So take your time.
I think I'm going to say the same thing. Let's go to the 5th.
Yeah, everybody wants it, but the opponents want it too.
So, technology. Let's talk about technology. You've been in this sport for a while. Technology's evolved. There's the formation of AI. There's crypto and blockchain. How's the club reshaping, not just in terms of training the players, but mostly on the fan engagement side? Are you seeing trends completely transform?
It's amazing. It's, I remember when I was a football player, or first year as a manager in the second team, a tactical board, and now we have wide angles, we have 3D, we have an incredible analysis for everything. So it's unbelievable how today the technology helps us to, I wouldn't say not to engage, because the technology can arrive for all the teams around the world. It just helps you to reduce the time, to analyze, to give you tools, to understand what you have to do. That helps you a lot. Make an incredible step forward in that.
How much of social commentary plays a role in how you think about what you're going to do next? You know, when you see fans, they're either really happy because you won, or they're just miserable, and they're letting you know that. Do you block yourself out? Do the players block themselves out?
It's impossible to go out for the social media. How you say to the players, don't go to Instagram, to Twitter, to TikToks, and this kind of stuff. Impossible. It's part of our life. I was not grow up in these technologies, but if I was grow up with the technology with for example, my kids, I will be part of that. It's impossible. You have to deal with that. It's like today before I have my agent and forget about it. Now they have agent for the earrings, agent for the tattoos, for the shoes, for for many things. You have to, you have to deal with that, and you have to accept it. And what I learned as a manager, there are a lot of conflicts in the team, in the way you have to be a manager. You cannot deal with all of them. You have to select which one you go to the war, which one you will intervene, which one. Listen, this is so important. There are a lot that you cannot do anything. So, okay, they do it as much. They are focused in the meetings, focused in the training sessions, and be ready for the day of the game. The rest is uncontrollable, so it's not necessary.
I think it's International Mental Health Day today, right?
Yeah.
It is. So that leads me to the second question, or the next question, which is a lot of what we want our community to be exposed to is how you strengthen your mental health and your physical health, because even in investments or trading, without mental and physical health, you're going to fail. You're absolutely going to fail.
Yeah. Before it was easier. Now is the young people is so much complicated. It's more difficult for me. They have more stuff. If you don't deal well with the opinion for the other ones, and you are more focused exactly what you have to do, people suffer today. But not just the athletes, all around the world in our life. The bullying in the schools and many things, the opinion that people can be cruel, and you have to be strong and I would say think exactly what are your values and learn that what the people say sometimes, Pep, the fans think that, no, you don't know what the fans think. No, because I read, okay, you read one person, a Twitter or one comment, this person, but that doesn't mean this is the opinion for the universe. The universe don't care about what I do. The people don't care if I have a problem or no problem. Each one has his own problems with that. So that's why as much you know it's happened because your business, because you cannot deal with that, retire. Go to the bakery and bread to the clients or do whatever you want, but don't be involved. As much you want to be there, you have to understand that. One come from here, 2 seconds later from here, and forget about it.
Yeah. We were in Singapore 2 weeks ago at the Grand Prix in Singapore, and we had a big event. And then we had the Grand Prix, and I think we hosted...
Bigger than this?
It was bigger than this, but it was Grand Prix. We'll do bigger stuff here. Why are you putting me in an awkward position?
Formula One is Formula One, I know.
But we had 1,000 guests we hosted over the weekend, and the team, you could clearly see they were beat up.
Oh, yeah?
And then 2 weeks later, I tell them, hey, you got to get on the plane. We got to do Dubai.
Oh yeah.
So this morning, I messaged them and I said, hey, when you get back, take 2 days off. Recovery is very important.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's even more important in your sport. Tell us a little bit about how you manage your players.
It's vital. The recovery time is vital. Days off is the key. In this modern sport, it's not as much your training will be better. Have to be here clean in the heads. And being at home, do your own stuff, family, friends, play golf, go ski. No, skiing cannot go. But do whatever you want, they have to do it. Because with every you have 11 games every 3-4 days. So how many races in Formula One a season? How many?
24.
24. We have 70 games every 3 days, 4 days, 3 days, 4 days. The impact for the opponents, the weather conditions, the pitch, the
cold.
So cold and okay, recovery and prepare a little bit and relax. Energy the day of the game. So today is vital. When you have a long week, you can do whatever you want. But every 3 days during 11 months, at home.
And a day off is a day off.
Day off.
You're not cheating day off, like
no.
Looking on your phone, answering Pep's questions about, hey, am I going to come to training or not? It's a day off.
No, they can come. The play day off, it doesn't mean don't be together. But the players, for example, to be good day off, I go to the training center during 1 hour, 2 hours, I make a massage or make a water therapy or whatever. Or sometimes the players don't go, I don't go. Sometimes I go, I don't go. But the day of, it doesn't mean we don't have to prepare something together. For me, it's vital. Today, the football, even as much games you play, quantity, you have to go to the quality. You don't have to go to the amount of training, no. It's quality work. Otherwise, the season by season, 11 months. Always I put example. NBA play 80 games, right?
Yeah.
But you are in the playoff, fine. In the first round, you are out. You have 5-month holidays. 5 months. We play 11 months after go to the international team, and after you have 3 weeks, you start again. 11 months, 3 weeks. It's impossible sustainable here. And people say, no, it's a physical. It's not a physical, it's adrenaline, the stress to play in front of 70,000 people, like you demand to play good during 11 months every time. Arrive a moment that it's like eat spaghetti every day. Sometimes I get one lasagna or I go another type of food. It's like I eat the same. It's too much.
So how many years now have you been a coach?
40 years, 50? Yeah, 40 years.
What's the typical lifeline for a coach?
Life?
Or, yeah, like how many years are you typically?
Well, it depends on you. If you are good,
yeah,
you have an offer.
You're all right.
Yeah, now, but how many managers are good today and tomorrow is a disaster? So,
yeah.
So, I can train until 85, 90 years old if you want.
Well, you've accomplished so much already, especially for the club.
Yeah.
I have a question related to the club. Now, where does the club go from here? What's next? What's on, your mind and the rest of the team's mind?
Listen, I cannot assure you that what is going to happen in terms of titles. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
But the incredible stability and the organization, how well all the people he's above and a little bit below and all that is unbelievable. So it's a solid club. Solid, and have the feeling that these guys is not there because okay, we'll replace for the best one. I think this kind of stuff, I think they are really good. I think it's not going to drop. I think because they are so ambitious and they want to do it better and better. And one of the points I love that club is when we are going down for some reason, we don't try to make who is guilty, who is the responsible. We try to find the solution. So we accept that the defeat is part of the game and try to maintain the defeats for a long time. And the way is your fault or my fault and blame start to talk shit between each other. When that's happened, you go down. And it's completely the opposite. Okay, the moment we lose, my chairman, my CEO, my sport director, what the fuck, disaster, Pep, what they're doing, that's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, that's fine. But after, say, okay, what do we have to do? What do you have to do? What's next? And most of the clubs start to blame to save his position.
Replace players.
To hide their position. And that is a big mistake. In this club, in that term, is really good.
Yeah, and it certainly feels like you guys are a tight family, which brings me to another point. We have people here from Turkey, our customers, friends, and what have you. İlkay.
Yeah.
He's back.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, he called me one day and said, would you like to come back? I said, yeah, I would love it. Okay, he came back.
Yeah. And how was it? How was the reception and the rest of the club? And the team?
It's like he never left.
Yeah.
So arrived just 1 year later, he never left. And because the chemistry that he left when he left, the connection was strong. And for me, for all of us, it was incredible that he came back because his brain is so intelligent and he's a lovely guy. And yeah, we are delighted he's back.
Well, look, I want to say there's such a huge appetite from our side to now start to do more with you guys. I know we've been doing a lot of integrations related to Web3. We've launched NFT campaigns. We've done stuff in the metaverse. I'm so excited about our future.
My future?
No, our future.
Our future.
Yeah, OKX and Man City.
Yeah.
Your future too, but I'm not going to put you in that spot to ask that question. But thank you, Pep. Thank you so much for being here today. It's always a pleasure seeing you. I know people are so excited to see you. We're quite popular backstage, but I love doing this with you.
Thank you
so much. Yes. Hug it out.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Amazing conversation there with Haider and with Pep. Somebody's got to follow that now. And the next person to follow it, we've got a 15-minute presentation for you on the overview of the future of Bitcoin-based blockchain applications. So what I'd like you to do is keep that round of applause going if you can, and welcome up onto the stage co-creator of Stacks and CEO of Trust Machines, Muneeb Ali.
Hi everyone, I'm Muneeb. I'm the founder of Stacks, which is the leading Bitcoin layer 2. And today, I'm going to talk about the future of Bitcoin. Most of you here, I'm going to assume, are familiar with Bitcoin. You're familiar with the broader industry for crypto. And in many ways, Bitcoin started it all, right? It all started with Bitcoin. It all started with Satoshi Nakamoto, whoever he, she, or them might be. And Bitcoin sort of like gave birth to this entire industry. Today, my hope with this talk is to give you a little glimpse into the future of Bitcoin and to basically tell you that Bitcoin is more than just an asset. That's the first sort of like 15 years of Bitcoin where Bitcoin has been treated mostly as an asset, and I think it's actually getting a lot of market adoption as a savings technology. People get it that the supply of Bitcoin is fixed. It's like digital gold. If currencies are getting devalued, or if you're looking to kind of like save your money, you can go and buy Bitcoin. We can go and just look at the recent success of all the Bitcoin ETFs. They just got approved earlier this year, and now more than $70 billion of capital is actually sitting in Bitcoin ETFs. And that's the base use case, right? Digital gold, just like people buy gold, they want to have their savings. That's what they're doing with Bitcoin. The thing that is not getting a lot of attention, and the thing that I've sort of been obsessed with, is Bitcoin, the technology. So the mental framework over here is there is Bitcoin, the asset, and then there's Bitcoin, the rails, the technology on which Bitcoin runs. And that technology is actually pretty old. It goes all the way back to when Satoshi Nakamoto actually implemented it. He was a developer, built that technology. And there's a core principles of Bitcoin that Bitcoin doesn't want to change. It's supposed to be simple. It's supposed to be durable. We want people to be able to trust that Bitcoin is going to be exactly the same 10 years from now, 50 years from now, 100 years from now. Whereas if you look at the rest of the industry, it's very fast-paced. People are doing tons of experimentation. If you look at Ethereum, if you look at Solana, and all these other networks, they are actually helping developers come in and build all these innovative new applications. That's not Bitcoin. Bitcoin is stable. Bitcoin is the durable asset that's there in the industry. But here's the interesting part. You can start separating the asset from the rails. You can build new rails for Bitcoin without changing the base layer at all. And that's the work that we've been doing. This is Stacks, and then Stacks is sort of like the leading Bitcoin L2, but there are many others as well, and that's a very interesting phenomenon. I'll just give you one example. Bitcoin is around $1.2 trillion in capital, and right now, that capital is not programmable. That capital is not active. That capital is not deployed in any meaningful way. And that's a huge opportunity. Just imagine $1 trillion mostly just sitting there, which developers can come in and start programming, which developers can come in and start doing interesting things with it. Imagine Wall Street, different types of financial products, different types of new innovative things that people can do with money. They're actually currently not doing that with Bitcoin. And that's the unlock that we are excited about. I'll give you one small example. All of this is sort of like very recent in terms of these new layer 2s like Stacks, and Babylon is another one. Babylon recently, this was literally happened 2 days ago, they opened up an opportunity for people to deploy their Bitcoin capital and start earning some yields on it. Within 90 minutes, $1.5 billion of BTC moved into Babylon. 90 minutes, 22,000 BTC. There is an insane amount of demand for this Bitcoin capital that has just been sitting there passively to make it productive capital, to make it programmable money, so people can actually start using it. Bitcoin will actually start flowing on these new rails, and it will be a revolution. Just like the internet, when it started growing, when developers realized that they can come and build any application, any website, anything on top of the internet, and it's complete freedom, it's an open network. That's what we are about to see happen with the largest asset in our industry. Everything else compared to Bitcoin is very small. Even Ethereum, which is the largest application platform, is barely 1/4 of the size of Bitcoin. Everything else is very, very small. So the work that we've been trying to do, in some ways, goes back to the original work that Satoshi started. Again, whoever Satoshi was or is, they didn't want to stop at where they were. Right? They wanted to make Bitcoin programmable money. They wanted to create an entire economy around it, where it will be used as money, it will be deployed, people will be using it daily, not just a passive investment. And that is the first use case, but there are thousands of other use cases that are going to get unlocked by the work that Stacks is doing, the work that we are doing, and the other projects. And that is very, very exciting to me, because it opens up a completely new potential for Bitcoin. And in some ways, all the other experiments that happen, there's a saying in the Bitcoin community that we will take the best experiments, because you don't want to experiment with Bitcoin too much. We'll take the best experiments, the applications that are actually finding product market fit, and bring it back to the mothership, bring it back to the largest asset class, and actually use it over there. So that is something that is one, if there's one takeaway you can have, if you think that Bitcoin has already been something that has changed the world, it's already getting a lot of traction, we are extremely, extremely early right now. We haven't even started deploying BTC, we haven't even started doing anything interesting with it yet. It has just been passive. So one of the missions that we have at Stacks is how to take Bitcoin to 1 billion people. And that's another reason why you need these new rails, these new layer 2s on top of Bitcoin. Because the Bitcoin base layer cannot scale to 1 billion users. Think of it as like a highway. It jams up, and you need to build the bigger, better highways right next to the base layer. And that is absolutely needed. Just like the internet had to scale to 1 billion users, we need to scale Bitcoin to be able to have 1 billion users or more. So those are the highways that we are building at Stacks. Those are the highways that other people are trying to build around Bitcoin. And that is a super interesting work. And there has been a very interesting cultural aspect of that as well. I've been in the industry for around 11 years at this point. I remember when I started, whenever Bitcoin would cross $100 in price, I would think that it's expensive. I would only buy it when it will drop below 100. And over the last 10 plus years, one thing I've noticed is that Bitcoin sort of lost its touch in the developer community. A lot of the developers, they started experimenting with the smaller networks, the new things, the new shiny things. And they were easier, faster, and you could actually move fast and do interesting things. And just in the last 2 years, thanks to some of the work that we have done, there is a sort of like a Bitcoin renaissance that's happening. A lot of developers are rediscovering Bitcoin through projects like Stacks, where they can now come back and actually build the same type of stuff that they could build on these other newer networks, but this time on the mothership. So there has been a cultural shift as well, where now there are hackathons and developers who are getting together, and they're sort of like tinkering with Bitcoin again. And for me, who is sort of like witnessed the first sort of like a decline in the developer activity on Bitcoin, and then the rebirth and the revival that just happened the last 2 years, it's actually pretty exciting. With that, thank you so much, and hopefully you can take one lesson that the future of Bitcoin is programmable money and not just a passive asset. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Munib. You're not going to escape. You're staying on stage. because we need to hear some more of your thoughts. Thank you very much. We've got another panel discussion, so I'd like to also welcome back up onto the stage Sandeep Nailwal, and of course Ramya is going to be moderating this session. Come on stage, guys, and Ramya, over to you.
Thank you very much. Hello again, everyone. Thank you very much. Hello again, everyone. Dr. Munib, your mission at Trust Machines is to build the largest ecosystem of Bitcoin applications and to really take Bitcoin to 1 billion people. And as you know, an on-chain world requires current tech to scale for mass adoption. What solutions are being developed to solve for this in Bitcoin?
Yeah, I think this is what I briefly touched in my presentation already. And in many ways, I know Sandeep has done a lot of work in Ethereum. We're actually taking a bunch of lessons from Ethereum. Like even Ethereum needed Ethereum layer 2s for scalability. And those layer 2 solutions are a bit harder to implement on Bitcoin because think of Bitcoin as an older, more clunky technology that is more limited. So it took sort of like longer to figure out how to build good Bitcoin L2s like Stacks or the other ones that are coming up. And I think that's the key work. Like as that infrastructure is getting built and deployed, you'll see like real scalability happen around Bitcoin.
Sandeep, in an increasingly interconnected blockchain space, which you actually touched upon earlier in our conversation, what do you see as the most crucial elements in building secure and scalable infrastructure for a fully on-chain world?
Yeah, I think like, you know, it needs two main components. And when we talk about these layer 1s and layer 2s, like actually what we are really talking about is basically execution environments, means where you execute the code, and the settlement environment, the environment that is providing you the security. Like in case of Polygon, the security is provided by Ethereum, and then the execution environment is provided by Polygon's technology. In case of Stacks, the execution is Stacks chain, and then the settlement and the security is being provided by Ethereum, right? By Bitcoin. And I think like we see that in that form. In fact, like Polygon's technology, is also for future, like, how we are building is that those settlement layers, like if Bitcoin, for example, evolves to be a better settlement layer, I think a lot of volume, like even in the Ethereum layer 2, community will move to Bitcoin. For example, Starkware is already like trying to do something on the Bitcoin side also, and with this OpCat, which is a new opcode coming in, which is doing. The second thing, like we believe that after these like execution and these environments, the settlement environment, one important thing is going to be interoperability, because these are all separate execution environments, and a lot of applications will be on one environment, other applications will be on other environment. Like the internet, right? Like you have a lot of applications hosted in US, a lot of applications hosted in China, this, that. But when we connect to internet, we don't think about like I am interacting with the internet of US or I'm interacting with this, and I don't have to bridge and all that. It all happens behind the scenes. And I think that is the interoperability part. And I think we believe in the interoperability part a lot. Like, and now in the last 1.5 years, Polygon has more and more pivoted into that interoperability part, and which enables us now to work with, like, let's say even Bitcoin L2 like Stack, who are the pioneers in that space, and obviously in the Ethereum and other ecosystem, other L1 ecosystems also. So these are the two important elements.
And Dr. Munib, Stacks is partnering with both Aptos and with Solana. Will we see more collaboration across chains to build the right infrastructure for mainstream adoption?
Yes. So I think the way we think about this is Stacks is heavily integrated with Bitcoin. Like we operate very close to Bitcoin, and we try to take the Bitcoin. It's almost like think of Bitcoin base layer as a cold storage. Like if you're just saving Bitcoin and you don't want to do anything interesting with it, you keep it in cold storage. And Stacks is kind of like your hot wallet. When you move it from layer 1 to layer 2, and now in the hot wallet, you can purchase NFTs, you can swap with stablecoin, whatever interesting things you want to do, you do there. But once we have solved the challenge of how to bring Bitcoin in a very secure, decentralized way, in a more programmable environment, then you can take it to other chains as well. very easily, because stacks can very easily integrate with other things. And of course, there's demand for BTC capital on Solana, on Aptos, and they see the value of bringing good Bitcoin liquidity. And the asset, like Bitcoin is, in my view, is the pristine asset, right? Like that's the thing that most people want to hold and use, but it was not very usable for the longest time. And I think once that is changing, there is appetite for these ecosystems to try and bring a programmable Bitcoin there. And that's what we saw with Aptos, sort of like, trying to work with stacks, and we are trying to bring that to Solana too.
And Sandeep, I mean, in the journey towards a connected on-chain world, what role do you see collaboration between blockchain ecosystems playing, and how is Polygon really leading the way in these efforts?
Yeah, as I said that, we believe that interoperability between blockchains is going to become more and more significant. And what I was also saying that we are already, like today, I think Uniswap also announced, their own chain. And my thesis is that once the interoperability is solved and the trustlessness is solved for these chains, trustless is almost, already solved with the layer 2s. Once the interoperability and composability between the chains is solved, very few apps will exist on public shared chains. They will all want to exist on their own servers, their own chains. And in that environment, interoperability is going to be very important. And for that interoperability, for any interoperability to be successful, they would have to integrate with other chains, right? So, for example, in case of Polygon also, we have like similar kind of like for other layer 1s, like Near. We intend to work with, like, obviously with the Stacks and Aptos, Sui, all the other chains also. And as Amani was saying, that Bitcoin, for example, in case of Stack, is very, very important for DeFi ecosystem as a whole. For that biggest asset of the industry should be able to come into the DeFi ecosystem. And so we are like taking steps to integrate with as many chains as possible.
Dr. Muneeb, how do you view the transition from Bitcoin from a passive asset to a productive asset, and what use cases are Bitcoiners really asking for first?
Yes, so I think the type of use cases I've seen are a lot of people don't want to sell their Bitcoin. They view that as something precious, something valuable, but they do want to get some liquidity against it, like without taking risk of like centralized places, right? So things that people can do today on Ethereum and on Solana, you can take your ETH, you can put it in Aave and take a stablecoin loan. Right? That basic functionality doesn't exist for Bitcoin right now. And there are a lot of people, and I think it's actually more needed in Bitcoin because people have this belief that this is a very valuable asset. I want to own it, but maybe I want to get 10% liquidity for my holdings as stable coins, but I don't want to sell. I don't want to get a tax hit. I don't want to go and actually liquidate my Bitcoin. So basic things like that, I think they could be very large use cases just because the asset class is so big. Right? It's $1 trillion of capital. So if you start unlocking some of that, I think it's going to be a lot of liquidity that actually enters the industry because Bitcoin is, as I said, just sitting passively mostly.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk a bit about security, Sandeep. How is Polygon really empowering developers to create applications that can operate across multiple chains while maintaining high security and performance?
Yeah. So the security for any of these chains to interact with each other, that comes in two forms, right? One is like obviously where everybody is working is like called full execution proofs. That means whatever was executed was executed correctly by the other chain. And that has like, traditionally had optimistic approaches. And recently in the last 2 years, ZK, zero knowledge technology, has become very popular. And we use primarily, like Polygon is one of the pioneers in the ZK space. And now like Polygon's technology like Plonky 2, Plonky 3 is basically the bedrock of most of the ZK solutions these days. And so basically that full execution proof with ZK, that is first layer. But for that you have to spend a lot of money. Like every chain, let's say Solana, to prove the whole Solana chain, you will have to pay a lot of money to generate those proofs. It's compute intensive. But then we came up with the second form, which we called something called pessimistic proof. It's basically nothing but a chain level accounting. So each chain, the accounting of the assets that are inside the AG layer, which is our interoperability solution, each chain basically creates a proof of the accounting of those particular assets, and they cannot lie about that using ZK proofs. And then what happens is that all the chains connected together, it creates like a single chain environment across those chains, like because all of those chains essentially are deriving for those assets that are inside the AG layer, are deriving the single security of AG layer. So that for the end user starts making it feel like one single chain. So an end user might have assets on 100 different chains, and he can simply click and the assets can move from one chain to another, interact with other smart contracts without the fear of whether my chain goes down on security or the receiving chain goes on security. So that's the fundamental layer we are enabling, which is very, very small in compute, and every chain can join that interoperability layer.
We have 10 seconds. I just want a one-word answer from both of you, or a one-sentence answer. What will be the next big innovation in the Bitcoin ecosystem?
OPCAT is innovation. Like, I mean, this is the opcode everybody is expecting in Bitcoin.
Dr. Munib.
I think these wrapped Bitcoin assets, they start going everywhere, right? So people will see actual good liquidity around these assets.
Thanks so much for joining me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Good to see you both. Okay, Ramia, we have another session for you to host. What I'd like you to do is welcome up our final panel for this evening. First up, we have VP Digital Assets at Franklin Templeton. We also have the President of OKX and the CEO of OKCoin Dublin. Ladies and gents, please put your hands together for Andrew Crawford, Hong Fang, and David Reynolds, respectively. No problem.
Hello. Hello. That's what I didn't realize.
Hello. Oh, wonderful to be with you here this evening at the fantastic Museum of the Future. This program is exceptional, and I will be sad to see it end. Andrew, to start, would you give us a quick overview, please, of the current opportunities and the challenges around the integration of digital assets and finance?
Okay, well, where do I start? I sort of thought about this before, and I sort of came up with 4 sort of key factors. One we see is bifurcation. One is transitioning of wealth management, then delivering the tools to institutional investors, and the real outlier, which a lot of people don't realize what's going on in China, but China is going to be the real outlier. So I can go into those in a bit more detail, but we see those as the 4 key drivers in the short term.
Wonderful. Hong, from a global perspective, how do you see the crypto and TradeFi markets really evolving in the next 5 to 10 years? If you could give us your outlook.
On a very high level, I would actually iterate what Star just said as part of his concluding theme, which is crypto will eat the world. I also believe that it is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when the TradFi, the whole financial system, will move on-chain. I think that is just a matter of time. What we have seen, but it will take a long time for that to happen, and it will happen gradually in different pockets of the traditional financial system. As we have seen, it started with the value anchor, the money side, moving on-chain. Bitcoin was the first creation, and it takes more than 10 years for that to be recognized by the traditional financial system, where we see Bitcoin ETF, where we see that going into the part of traditional asset allocation. And then I think next you will see payment going on-chain, right? Originally people thought that it will be primarily starting with Bitcoin, but recently we started to see the sign of stablecoin forming the foundation for payments, particularly cross-border payments moving on-chain. I think that will continue to play out. And then you will start to see the whole financial system gradually moving on-chain instead of what he was talking about in terms of lending, in terms of investment, in terms of collateral, in terms of wallet. I think those will all happen step by step. But ultimately, the path to get there, I think, will be a combination of, competition between crypto native firms as well as TradFi and fintech companies. And more importantly, actually on top of that, partnership between the different stakeholders, because we do bring to the table different capabilities. I remember when I was at Goldman, in financial institutions, when we serve fintech companies, a lot of the fintech companies talk about disrupting traditional sectors. Tech companies also talk about disrupting traditional sectors. But over time, you realize that it's actually a partnership. So I do see the same thing here in our space, where crypto native firms and traditional financial companies will actually partner to find opportunity set to move everything on chain over time.
And David, yes?
No, I just wanted to touch base with what Hong's saying is exactly right. I mean, there's a study that came out, I think, in 2022 from Boston Consulting that said by 2030, 16 trillion of assets will be held in the tokenized form. And I think one of the things we're seeing, and this is why we like working with the likes of OKX, because it's a marriage of old school and new school. Yes. And really what we see is going to tip the dial is the infrastructure. So more of the assets you see are going to move from being in a custodial model, where you have old-fashioned record keeping, to being on chain. And that's going to open up a whole new world. Everyone here is on their phones all the time. That's where people are going to do wealth management. And we're already seeing this in places like the Philippines, where you can hold your transaction account and your investments. The investments are held on blockchain. The transaction account is held in a traditional way, but you can move from one to the other, in 1 or 2 keystrokes. So it's going to be a huge. I think it's going to be the infrastructure that gets us to that 16 trillion. And today, tokenized securities represent 1% of the TVL, where it's going to grow. We doubled in the last year. I think with partnerships like working with OKX, that's going to really. We know what we're good at. They know what they're brilliant at, and we'll come together and be really, a force to be reckoned with.
And just very quickly, at what rate do you expect it to grow?
Well, at the moment, if you think it's at 2 billion and it's got to get to 16 trillion, at some point there's got to be some hockey stick. There's got to be something that just catapults it from early adopters, and you get that, meteoric growth. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure between the two of us, we'll work it out, or we might provide it. We hopefully will provide it.
With the help from regulators too.
And we need the regulators, because, unlike what a lot of people in crypto don't understand is that we have the rules of the road are set by regulators, and I sit on the board of the one in Hong Kong, and we can't do anything unless the regulator gives us the approval. Yes. And that really does drive a lot of, so one of the things we're trying to do is to get Hong Kong, which we see as the market that will come out with the crypto regulations first, and set the precedent for other markets to follow. But yeah, we've got to get the regulators on board.
One of the major challenges in crypto historically has been fiat on ramp. David, can you tell us how this has evolved in recent years, and what have been the biggest developments, and how is this helping TradFi come on chain?
Yeah, it has been a long journey, I think, for us to get a strong banking partner. Historically, it has been very difficult on the crypto industry to work with the banks, and that was due to some uncertainties in regulation, right? The banks were not willing to work with crypto companies as they were not sure what the regulation was at the time. And we can see also in the industry there was a lack of alignment on some of the compliance best practice to provide for the crypto industry. I think that changed dramatically in the last couple of years. We have seen regulation coming in, we have seen licenses like in Dubai coming in, so it's given a lot of more support for us to get strong banking and partnership, and for them to work with us in the future. As well, we can see customers requesting or demanding their banks to be more proactive in the sector, which help us going to them and getting the account we need for customer. So all of these aspects are really helping us now to be able to offer all the fiat on-ramp in most of our jurisdictions where we have been involved.
Hong, how do you feel decentralized exchanges and centralized exchanges will work in the future, and how will they interact with traditional finance?
This question relates actually to our strategy that Star touched upon earlier. From an industry evolution perspective, we do believe that a decentralized system is the future. So it's really important that we as an industry, OKX as a platform, continue to invest in that infrastructure, future infrastructure built for the future. That's also very much in line with, I think, VARA and UAE and the general temperament for building for the future with technology investment. But at the same time, in the foreseeable future, I think there is a very strong and necessary need for centralized crypto exchange to serve as the bridge, right? On the one hand, you provide that platform for people who come on that platform to interact and trade with each other in crypto. On the other hand, you build that on-ramp into the platform so that people can transition from TradFi into the new world and get used to it before they get fully comfortable with a fully distributed Web3 experience. So we do believe that investing in both the future and the bridge is really important for our industry, and that's where we as a platform at OKX, we come in and really play that role. I think TradFi is obviously a larger pie. It's a pie that is up for refresh from a system perspective. So there is a big role that traditional financial institutions can play, but it really depends on the corporate mentality of those players. Some players are more open-minded, like Franklin Templeton. They're trying a lot of different things. Others are probably more conservative. I think ultimately it really depends on the organizational fabric, those who are more open-minded, who can explore new things and really see that on-chain vision earlier on, are willing to actually invest and take small steps to invest toward that future, can come and ultimately there's a convergence of the two worlds. And I think in that long time period, all the three types of ecosystem will coexist.
Connecting on-chain to TradFi deserves much more time. Unfortunately, we have run out of time on this panel. I'm sure that our fantastic spokespeople will connect with you later on. Thank you very much for joining me today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Andrew, David, Hong, and of course to Ramia for hosting a very, very interesting session. We've got two more segments before we close out this evening. Now, as we mentioned at the top of the show, OKX are partnered strategically with three partners. We've heard from Manchester City, Pep Guardiola. One person who sadly couldn't be here with us tonight is the CEO of McLaren Racing. He's busy trying to chase the Formula One World Championship, and the next Grand Prix is next weekend in Austin, Texas. However, we do have a short video from McLaren Racing CEO, Mr. Zak Brown.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. And sorry I can't be there, but as you can imagine, we have an exciting end to the F1 season that we need to be 100% focused on right now. The energy, the innovation, and the constant push for excellence that defines Formula One is what brings us all together. And it's that same energy that keeps us evolving year after year. I regularly speak with Haider Rafiq, who is with all of you this evening, about how their world is so similar to ours. We're constantly having to evolve and push the limits to engage audiences new and old. Our Senate campaign and the latest livery at the Singapore Grand Prix was a great nod to that. OKX and McLaren co-designed the livery that combined our proud heritage with the new, the legendary MP4 era with a modern twist. The world of digital assets, blockchain technology, decentralized finance might seem like a different world compared to motorsport, but in reality, it's very much aligned with where we are heading. Through this partnership, not only embracing the future of financial technology, but we're also finding new ways to engage with fans. From NFTs that offer exclusive content to blockchain experiences that bring supporters closer to the team, the opportunities are endless. Our partnership with OKX reflects McLaren's commitment to innovation and allows us to tap into that new generation of fan who are passionate about digital technology and the future it represents. We're excited to see where this journey takes us, both on and off the track. And as we continue to innovate and push boundaries, we want to bring that community closer together, especially for the next generation. By embracing new technologies, partnerships like the one that we have with OKX, and staying connected to what our fans truly care about, we're ready to accelerate into the future. And we're excited to have you all on that journey with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Zach, and I love that kick of papaya in the background there. Okay, our final presentation for the evening. Before we close out, the way forward for a regulated crypto ecosystem. Please put your hands together one more time for OKX Chief Legal Officer, Mauricio Bugelmans.
Thank you. I did tell Haider, our CMO, that after this event with such incredible speakers, the last person you want to hear before you enjoy your evening in this wonderful space and wonderful city is from the lawyer. Even though I had walk-up music, that's not going to help. So my comments are very brief, and I want to bring it back for one moment to talk to you about our regulatory journey here in Dubai and with VARA. And if you'll indulge me, I'll share with you a little bit of our history and how we came to commit to Dubai and to this regulated space. I started with OK Group at the end of 2021, and our founder and CEO, Star, gave us a mandate. I was immediately amazed at the technology and the innovation that our company did on a consistent and daily basis. And I still believe we have the best product and the best engineers in the industry. So I took some time, as best as I could, to study and learn how much innovation was what we were all about. Our president, Hong Feng, and our founder and CEO, Star, came to me in early 22 and showed their vision to bring our C5 product to a regulated environment. Now, I want to remind you again, this is early 2022. So I had a task to find a jurisdiction that would be consistent with our values of compliance and transparency, but also our commitment to innovation. And as you can imagine, I had a problem. I kind of had a big problem. We started looking throughout the world, and it was a regulatory desert landscape. And not the beautiful deserts of UAE, it was not a pretty picture. Other jurisdictions were either lacked the basic knowledge of crypto, were somewhat hostile to crypto, or just simply were not interested. In March of 2022, as many of you here remember, the law number 4, which established VARA, was published. And we immediately reviewed it, and we were frankly quite impressed and continue to be with how visionary that framework was from the very beginning in March of 2022. For those of you who have not looked at it or looked at it recently, it's important once in a while, go on your phone and look up that law and look up Section 5, which is the objectives of VARA as laid out here in Dubai. And when you actually look at them from a regulatory perspective, you see how visionary they are. And again, we have been really desperately walking around in a regulatory desert landscape. I was preparing to go to Star and Hong and say, we really can't find anywhere that recognizes what we want to do. We promptly engaged with VARA and submitted our initial application materials in June of 2022. It was a long process. We obtained our full license, as you all know, in September of this year. And while, as a lawyer at the head of our legal and compliance team, that may seem like a long and tedious application process, it was actually quite the opposite for us. Because, again, this was the visionary regulatory environment for centralized crypto exchanges. So throughout the years, and again, we were talking about the crypto winter, we're talking about all the volatility that took place in the regulatory space throughout the world. In that entire time, we continued to work with Vara through our application process in an exceptionally collaborative method. Vara assisted us through their questions, through their consultations, and helped us improve our own program from a regulatory perspective. So we could build a compliance program, we could build a regulatory framework process within OKX that was consistent with our joint mandates, which again, customer protection, transparency, a robust marketplace, and of course, very, very importantly, innovation and protecting that. So although at times, Star would come to me and say, what is taking so long? The end result was a true collaboration that we were very appreciative of. And so I do want this group to be reminded of that as we launch our business and we become participants in this ecosystem, that it was a partnership. And to answer the question for my small and brief remarks, what is the model for global regulation? I would encourage any other regulator, and we do that in our conversations, to look at the vision that Dubai had, how they built Vara, and the incredible collaboration that they worked with us. So we are very, very grateful, not only to Vara, but to Dubai and to the UAE for permitting us to participate, and you have our commitment to continue to be your partners. Thank you very much.
Mauricio, thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the close of today's event, I'd like to extend a heartfelt thank you to all of you for joining us to celebrate this milestone. The launch of OKX in the UAE. At OKX, we envision a future where there is no walled garden, where financial inclusion isn't just an ideal, it's reality, fueled by innovation, technology, and the boundless potential of blockchain technology. It's the new alternative. Thank you once again to our speakers, partners, a shout out to our friends at IOCA, because without them this wouldn't have come together, and everyone else behind the scenes. Without you, this event wouldn't have been possible. And of course, a thank you to you all for being a part of this journey with us. I have one final piece of housekeeping before we close out. Tomorrow we party. So we're inviting you to the one and only Zabil, the bar, the Sphere, at 7 p.m., where we can continue the conversations, more food, more drink, and more entertainment. We wish you all a very safe and speedy journey home. We hope you've enjoyed this evening as much as I have. Thank you, everyone. Good night. God bless.